Okay, so the next one's going to be from Cody. You might have some insight on this because I don't, and this is surprising for me to read. Sport from Yumi Matsumoto. Subject is hip hop Dom. Hello, keep it 100. Word on the street, or in this case the internet, is that Dominik Mysterio is a very talented freestyle rapper. Recently, Raquel Gonzalez, also known as Raquel Rodriguez in WWE, praised Dominik, saying that he's a really good freestyle rapper who can transition from Spanish to English. Me being a longtime fan of hip hop, the story definitely caught my attention and curiosity. So obviously, I had to send this question to Conan. You be the godfather and a bit of a hip hop aficionado yourself, as well as someone who has rapped. You would know better than anyone else. So can you confirm or deny that he raps? And if so, how good are his skills? Can he come up with lyrics off the top of his head? Does he sound like Rakim or Big Daddy Kane? Or does he have a smooth flow like Slick Rick the Ruler? Maybe he sounds like Kid Frost when going from Spanish to English. What's his style, K-Dog? Take care, and that's from Yumi Matsumoto.
Yeah, I've never heard of this ever. So, and I've been in the car with him listening to hip hop, and I've never even heard him sing hip hop, sing along the song. No way he ever sounds like Kid Frost because Kid Frost has a very deep voice. But I don't know anything about this. I don't know. Maybe he did rap to Raquel Gonzalez and he's got skills. Next time I see him, I'm going to ask him.
Joe, look that up. Google Raquel Gonzalez, Dom Mysterio, hip hop rapper.
Yeah.
Or freestyle rap. See if there's an actual story from this, because we might have to flag this whole email for misinformation. Okay, because this could be just a whole misinformed email, which would get this guy suspension for a week.
The Raquel Rodriguez
go
thing.
ahead.
She said in an interview with Billboard that she said as far as Dom's freestyle skills, he's really good. I heard he does some freestyling sometimes in the cars with the boys, and he goes in between Spanish and English, so it's really, really good. So
wait, whoa, time out. She said she's heard?
She's heard that he's really good, yeah.
So she hasn't heard it.
That's what I would gather.
And Conan has been in the car and listened to hip hop with Dominik, and he's never heard it. And that's what she's saying is like she's heard that Dom is good at freestyle rap in the car, and Conan has empirical evidence that has never happened when he's been with him. So we're gonna flag that email for misinformation. We're gonna suspend the person for a week, unless they can show any proof. Or maybe we can get Dom on. Conan, maybe we can ask Dom if he freestyle. Text him. Do you freestyle rap? Okay, because somebody's saying that you freestyle rap. All right, and I never heard that. All right, next one's from Sean Bersegian. The subject is Andre the Giant. K100 crew. I'm fascinated by Andre the Giant and always have been. I read recently in Bobby the Brains Brook that he walked in on Andre and a woman one time and it looked like a horse and hen. Have you ever heard of how big his meat was? It has been said online that it was the size of several beer cans stacked. Conrad had a running skin to shows with how big's Batista's. What is it with wrestling size and even on WWE when they say grown men slapping meat? There's plenty of meat slapping around. Sean Bergezen, Northeast Philly. All right, I'm not even gonna. Okay, this whole letter sounds like a troll that this guy wants us to talk about talk about male genitalia and stuff and things. So we're going to suspend him from the mailbag for a week for a really ridiculous, idiotic line of questioning.
And poor representation of Philadelphia as well.
Right, trying to trap us in an insane and a nonsensical conversation. Yeah. Next is from Niall Foster. The subject is fine. On the recent episode of AEW Dynamite, Jon Moxley once again was caught on camera blading. I think this honestly may be the 6th time this has happened since AEW, no joke. My question is, though, should Tony Khan start fining Jon Moxley? He's clearly learning nothing from these botches. There's no way that AEW aren't aware of all the memes and Twitter clips making fun of it. So why does it keep happening? Could Jon Moxley be around on purpose? I don't think the production team should get the blame for Jon Moxley flat out lying in the corner, face up, and blame himself. Well, they should because they're shooting it, and the director can say, cut, go to another shot. Okay, so it's both of their faults. Okay? And next, by the way, the final thing is I hear Billy's return to the Russo show has been a disaster already.
I like the way this guy was always saying, "Oh, you only read bad things about me," because that's basically what people send, bad things about you.
I know, it's like it. So next is
we did read the good things too.
Yeah, we did. We read everything.
But here, I agree 100% with everything you said, Disco. It's both their faults because you've got a guy in a truck and he's looking at 6 cameras and he's saying camera 1, camera 3, camera 4. Can you imagine if somebody streaked into the middle of the ring and they kept the camera on them? So, yeah, the producer should be pulling away. But Moxley is more to blame because he keeps doing it and not hiding it.
I would want to ask, okay, because I don't know enough information on this. I would ask, hey, is Moxley telling you guys when he's going to blade? Because that's what you, bro. That's a big spot in the match.
Yeah, but once they see it, they should pull away. They stay there too long.
I'm aware of that, but
and here's the other thing. Let's say Moxley says, "Oh, well, the cameras will cut it away." You've seen 3 or 4 times it hasn't happened. So why aren't you going to them and tell them not to show you when you're blading? And the other thing is, even if the cameras don't catch you, how about all the people with phones there?
Yeah. I will say, did you see Moxley take shots at the possibly us?
Right.
And that, Joe, do you have the comments from Moxley when he's taking shots at the old head podcasters? What was the term he used?
Let me find out here.
Yeah. He took some shots at like the talking head podcaster guys or something like that. Like I whatever. So that like we're negative, typical snowflake guy, negative. We're negative and stuff. Whatever. So try and find that.
Oh, okay.
What does he say?
Jon Moxley believes the BCC rivalry with the Elite is the cutting edge of pro wrestling and has harsh words for critics of the company. Turning point. During an interview with Sports Illustrated, Jon Moxley explained why the BCC and the Elite is the hottest thing in pro wrestling right now. This rivalry between us is the cutting edge of the business. You might be more into something else, but look who is involved here. Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, Claudio. The Young Bucks may be the greatest tag team of all time. Even if you think I effing suck, you still have all these greats. A lot of people out there hate on the Bucks and Kenny Omega. We're obviously attacking them, have our issues with them, but we're not old-ass, bitter dudes with podcasts talking about how the business used to be. We are not that.
We're old-ass, bitter dudes talking about how the business
here's the thing that in AAA in Mexico, you should see the amount of abuse that I received, that I'm an idiot, that I don't know what I'm doing, that I'm a bunch of shit. I don't really give a
Lucha Blog is the guy that's they're kind of
he doesn't they don't really attack me as much as they used to because I think they figured out it wasn't me that was making all those dumb moves when they 10 years ago, and but they're always trying to be smart asses and think they know more than me. But anyways, I really don't give a about them either. But the thing is this, what were we talking about? Oh, Moxley. We've talked good about him before. I've never heard him say anything about that if he is referring to us. Plus, bro, I receive a lot of criticism too. That's part of the job. We've put you over when you've done cool. But, we've also made fun of him when he wasn't in shape. Right. I was also made fun of him for a long time when he came out of the janitor's room or whatever that was.
Right.
And when I would meet him in AEW, the first time he was very evasive, kind of
like if he was walking towards you and he saw you, you could see him maybe put his head down or not want to make eye contact, one of those type of deals, or just go the other way.
Right, exactly like that. Like we were by the pool and we were kind of like walking towards each other, and then he either turned around or started talking to somebody.
Right.
And I was gonna say, "Hey, what's up?" And then the second time that I saw him, which was the last time I was in AEW, I went into his dressing room for somebody was in there that I said hi to, and I didn't know it was his dressing room. And I was like, "Hey," and he was like, "Hey," get the fuck out of my dressing room. So obviously he doesn't take criticism well, but bro, he can't tell me that he's not at home watching TV and criticizing other people when they do that. He isn't, that he doesn't like. Everybody criticizes. Everybody has an opinion.
All these guys, when they're done, they're going to have the ability to start a podcast, and people are going to write in letters and ask them questions. They're going to have a forum and a platform to critique and give their opinions of everything else that's going on in professional wrestling, from an educated standpoint. He's not going to be some Mark podcast or some data. He's going to be a guy that's done it, that's been there and done that. So, whatever. But right now, it's just funny. Bro, like I said, and maybe this, I'm just on the end of the bell curve, Like you said, like I just have to, none of this stuff, like criticism just does not bother me. I retweet criticism of myself. I just say I don't block anybody. I just, because like this doesn't really mean much to me. Like in the big picture, it's like all I'm doing on the show is just giving you people my opinions of things that I'm watching. It's like a movie review every week. You know, it's like you don't like my reviews. All right, I don't care. It's like that's not changing my perspective when I'm watching a show from an educated standpoint and looking at like what I think mistakes or people are making, and I point them out. You know, you don't like that, big deal, bro. Don't sit there and tell me we're, washed up, guys that the business passes by. Dude, you're getting caught blading on TV repeatedly. Like,
We
and
would have
that's
never
not.
been. We would have never been caught doing that.
We've never been
ever.
caught doing it, right? Ever. It's just something, and like it completely defeats
Bro,
the
when I
purpose
was
of
in
what you're
Lucha
doing.
Underground, when I was in Lucha Underground, they asked me to bleed, right?
Right.
And so we were doing this angle with Prince Puma, and I did it so fast that they were like, "When did you do it?" I was
Right.
like, "That's just it."
Right. Well, I'm saying, like, dude, it's like you're bleeding. You're trying to sell the story that the guy is busting you open, but you're openly showing you're cutting
Right.
yourself. Okay,
Right.
so if you don't like the criticism of that, it's like I don't know what to tell you. You're doing it wrong. Period.
Right.
And it's like you
Well, the
can't
thing
talk
is
your way out of
as
that. You know.
as much as we've done in the business, there's absolutely nothing anybody, the young guys could learn from us, or is it just as long as you agree with everything they're doing, they'll listen. But the moment that you say anything that goes against, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then you're whatever, bitter, irrelevant,
Right. Yeah.
looking for a buzz, clout chasing, all that.
Next is from Ramon Sanchez. Subject is anti-script culture in AEW. Good evening, fellas. I'm 100% with you guys when it comes to lack of backstage interviews and promos to push storylines. Push storylines, character development, and feuds in AEW. Do you guys think that's because of the fact that WWE has overused scripting to the point where TK and the AEW hardcores straight up despise it? Or do you think it's the case where TK just doesn't trust his contracted talents with promos, or it's just a lack of creative imagination when it comes to storytelling? Thanks, fellas, and keep doing what you're doing. It's like, bro, it could be all of that. I mean, the fact is they pride themselves as they're not scripting promos. It's like, well, dude, I can, with the exception of like MGF and a couple guys, and like, if you look at like their backstage promos that they do, I can't point with maybe Darby's been good at it, right? But bro, every backstage promo that these guys have or the situation does absolutely nothing for anybody. And if you're letting the guys do that themselves, you're not writing the promos for them, and they're not getting over, that's everybody's fault. It's Tony's fault. It's the talent's fault. You know, it's like I don't know. It's like, but you can't sit there and watch a show and not think that these backstage promos and stuff are just atrocious. Like they do, they say the same things every week. You have a match at Rampage on Friday. Okay, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna see you at Rampage. I don't know. It's like, do you agree with that? I mean, it's really not much to disagree with.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. Next is from Travis. Oh, this is interesting. Don Callis bad performance in AEW. I always heard what you guys say about AEW and bad booking. Recently, is that right? Don Callis tried to pull a Paul Heyman 2002, screwing his boy like Paul did to Lesnar. In my opinion, Don should have had no emotion, just looked at Omega, then left, made people wonder why. Instead, right away, he was pandering to the crowd, seeking approval or a chant. Here it is if you don't remember. Do you have the clip, Joe?
Yeah.
He was the golden booker of Impact, and now he is seeking the approval of the marks like everyone in AEW does. What are your thoughts on Don Callis' performance here? Let's watch this.
Watch his buddy's back. Omega from behind! That was the opening that Kenny needed. The ripcord feed trigger! Omega, he's gonna do it! This is it! Omega! Yes! Winged Angel! Kenny did it! One! He took it! What the hell did Don Callis do? What are you laughing about? He's got a mark on his head, courtesy of the Blackpool Combat Club. What's he doing? Don Callis has told us for years he considers Omega family. And Moxley, no!
All right, that's enough. The guy's absolutely right. He did kind of. He was right. Don should have just looked right down at him and stared at him, and they should have caught that facial. Instead, he was playing to the crowd. So that was a reasonable criticism. Do you agree with do you agree with that criticism, Conan?
Not really. I don't think he was just playing to the. I don't see it that way. But
well, the guy said he should have hit him and just kind of like stayed there and stared at him.
Right, and that
like kind of like like why did he do that? What But instead he's kind of like he was like doing nodding approval, like I just screwed the guy. I don't know. I would agree with this.
He was happy he was but the guy says that this was taken from Paul Heyman in 2002. I got news for you, bro. What Don Callis just did, I've been seeing that since the 70s. That's nothing new.